Hello, beautiful people, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I am bringing you my friend Jennifer. She is a dietitian who has been working in the cancer department in Taiwan for over 4 years now. And I honestly am so excited for her to share her story and on how to eat right. Because you know what? Whatever we do today is always for our future selves. The people we hang around with, how much money you're making or saving, and of course, what you eat now. So continue watching and learn how to eat healthier in order to prevent getting unwanted health issues. So enjoy.
Okay. Well, first of all, Jennifer, I would love to say thank you so much for your time. I know you have been very busy with your work recently, so honestly, thank you so much for your time. Before I ask you any questions about you, I would love to know how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling awesome today
Awesome! Why?
because I had a very good breakfast and a good cup of milk and coffee.
I love it. So simple. What did you have for breakfast, actually?
And I have my favorite avocado with a little bit salt and pepper and boiling egg and a wheat toast.
Yum! So healthy.
And I love it so much.
Yeah, I love avocado as well. Well, please share with people like what you do and what did you study. Tell people about your story.
And I went to college in Taipei and I went to Taipei Medical University and I majored in nutrition and health science.
Yep.
And then because I joined the medical volunteer group when I was in undergrad, and I went to Boston, the United States, to study in social work, health and mental health. I hope I can help more people, not only people I know, but more people from different social economy levels, not only my friends close to me.
Yep. So what did you do job-wise?
Yeah, and then after I graduated from grad school, and then after an year of working, I moved back to Taiwan. And then I started working at Taipei Cancer Center, Taipei University Hospital for dietitian. So I only serve people who've been diagnosed with cancer or people whose loved one being diagnosed with cancer. So I can give them nutrition support, emotional support, and some navigator support. Because not all the people they come to the hospital know where they should go or what is their next step. So often they came to my outpatient clinic. They not only ask me about nutrition things, but some lifestyle modifications.
Yeah, I love it. So you say you want to help more people. Is that why you chose the dietitian path?
I chose dietitian path because I hope prevention can work more than treatment.
Do you want to elaborate that a little bit, please?
Because most people worldwide, they always want to eat correctly or live correctly after them being diagnosed. But hopefully they can do some prevention for lifestyle before they being diagnosed so they can have a better life or better health or have a better family time.
Yes.
So I chose dietitian path. And I just noticed there is a gap between medical services and some low-income people. So I chose to study in social work. Hopefully I can help not people who have better social economy.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Because you know how you say you want to help people prevent and have a better lifestyle and etc. So what do you think people can eat more to reduce, I would say, their chances of getting cancer?
That's a good question because I see cancer patients every day for this past 4 years. First, for people who we eat a lot of rice,
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of rice, but carbohydrate. Hopefully, they can eat from whole grains. For example, mantou, the flour steamed bun, you can choose whole grain instead of white. And for vegetable wise, because now fast food is very popular and very convenient. So
Yes.
people always eat a lot of meat or greasy food or processed food instead of whole food. Hopefully, I can teach all the people around the world to eat whole food. For example, for vegetable, I encourage people to eat vegetable like 3 serving per day. For example, the boiling vegetable, because before you cook it for salad, it's like a whole bowl of vegetable. But once you cook it, it will shrink to this size.
Yes.
So at least you have to eat 3 serving of vegetable per day. 1 serving is like
A fist size.
yes, at least 3 for per day.
Yes.
And some of my clients, they ask me, I don't like eat vegetable. Can I eat fruits instead? So I can eat a lot of fruits, but not vegetable. They hate vegetable. I say no. It's not substitutable. And fruits is very healthy too, but it contains a lot of sugar, right? For fruits, it's for 2 serving per day.
Yep.
And the salad is for 2 fists as well.
Yep.
If you eat over more than 2 fists, it's a little bit too much.
Right.
Yeah, right. And some of my clients, they ask me, can I drink juice instead of eating fruit? Like as I said earlier, whole foods is better than processed food. Even though it's 100% juice, but if you can eat, it's better than you drink. You drink.
For those who are listening and watching, no matter where you are, basically, if you are someone who like to eat bread, people like to eat like, white bread and stuff like that, but you should choose whole grain. Is that what you said?
Exactly.
Uh-huh. And so you should also eat more vegetables.
3 servings per day.
3 fist size of vegetables per day and 2 fist size of fruit a day.
Right. And for protein food, it can come from egg, tofu, meat, or poultry, or fish, or seafood. And this is all good protein. But it's better to choose white food. For example, tofu or fish or chicken is a little bit better than red meat.
Why is that?
Because for red meat, for inside beef, there is a lot of saturated fat. It's bad for your health and bad for your heart as well. But it's not but if you are doing chemotherapy, if you are under treatment, or you have low hemoglobin, like you have low red blood, then you can eat more red meat. But in your daily life, it's better to choose more white food like fish, chicken, because they have lower saturated fat but good protein.
Well, what do you think people are eating too much daily that might induce more cancer cells?
There is a lot of epidemiology research. Fat, obesity is correlated with cancer incidence. So exercise and eat like moderate, not too much, is a correct lifestyle.
So don't eat too much of anything and have a balanced diet.
Balanced diet is the best.
So what is a healthy diet though? Like how do you define a healthy diet?
In my personal opinion and based on my experience, healthy diet, first rule is no processed food.
Yeah.
No processed food and like very less sugar. For processed food, for example, is like ham, bacon, sausage. A lot of Buddhists, they don't eat meat, so they will eat processed food. And it's not very healthy. because it contains a lot of saturated fat again and very less nutrition contents. So they eat fake meat, but it's only have a lot of saturated fat, but no protein, and it's bad for their health. And
Yeah.
for processed food, for sausage, bacon, ham, as everyone knows, they're really high in fat, sodium, and if you eat too much processed red meat, you get higher cancer risk.
Yeah.
So my personal healthy diet, rule one is no
Yep.
processed food. And the
Okay.
second one is low sugar, because sugar, as you know, is really bad for your health and bad for your skin, for your beauty as well.
Yes. So when you say sugar, do you encourage people when they go and buy stuff to check the ingredients list?
That will be good, because, for example, a lot of sauces, it contains a lot of sugar, but you don't know, and you eat it,
Yeah.
and so why my blood sugar is so high, and why I gain weight so fast? Then you will know maybe it's from your sauce. For example, because I was living in the US, a lot of people, when they are doing barbecue, they put a lot of sauce on the meat, and it contains lots of sugar, sodium, and calorie.
Yes, definitely. So for those who are listening and watching, don't forget to look at the ingredients list and look at the chart, like the sugar content and etc.
Yes.
So because you have worked in the cancer department, I'm sure you have experienced how the family members would be treating, the person that is the cancer patient. Because everyone wants to care for their family. But how do you think is the best way to care for the cancer patient?
First of all, you have to have empathy, because people who've been diagnosed with cancer, most of them, their mood is very low and depressed. And once they have depressed mood, they don't eat much. But when you are under treatment, especially in chemotherapy, you need more calorie and more protein than your usual life. For example, for a 30-year-old woman, maybe in my size,
What's your size?
my size is 157 centimeter, and my body weight is 45 kilo.
Yep.
So my usual calorie is your body weight times 30. For example, if your weight is 50 kilogram, you just times 30. So your calorie is 1,500 per day. And if you eat more than that, you gain weight. If you eat less than that and add some exercise, you can reduce weight.
Yes.
But when you are under treatment, especially for chemotherapy, you need more calorie. For example, maybe 1,500 calories is not enough. You need maybe 2,000 calories per day. So they are depressed and they are not very comfortable. Maybe they are very painful, and you require them to eat more than they can. Most of the time, my patients say they are very frustrated, and they already try their best to eat a lot of food, but they just can't reach that high calorie. So first, for the family or their loved one, it's better to have empathy first and accompany with your patient, because once they've been diagnosed, a lot of family members will let them eat alone because they have really low immune system. So a lot of family members say, because you are in low immune system, so you just can eat maybe in your ward or your room. They don't eat together often. But if you have a really high hygiene habits, then you still can eat dinner, lunch, or even breakfast together. Most of the patients, they eat more.
So the way that you would suggest people to care for any family member or friends who have cancer would be to have empathy for them, because they probably have mood swings and etc. and also to try and eat with them when possible, obviously with strict hygiene.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the first step. And the second step is a lot of friends and family, they will blame the patient because they don't eat enough. They didn't eat enough vegetable or fruits before they've been diagnosed. So once they've been diagnosed, they will force them to eat a lot of vegetable and fruit. A good thing, but it's not necessary while under treatment, because the first thing you have to do is reach enough calorie and enough good protein, not enough vegetable and fruits. This is totally opposite lifestyle when you're under treatment or you are not under treatment when you are a healthy people. It's totally opposite. So they have to change their mind. When they are under therapy, you have to eat enough calorie and enough good protein. But when after all the treatment, you are back on healthy life, then you have to eat enough vegetable, fruits, good protein, and just enough calorie is enough.
Obviously, it's normal for people to want to eat unhealthy food because sometimes, you know, people get busy and etc. So how do you think people can help themselves to, I would say, eat better when they want to eat unhealthy food?
Most of my friends, when they are not in a good mood or they are unhappy, they will eat a lot of sweet. Yeah, sometimes I eat dessert as well, but not too much. For example, bananas. Banana is a really good fruit. It's sweet and it contains some good carb in banana as well. And a lot of studies said banana can improve your mood. So at my home, I prepare a lot of banana at my kitchen. When I feel depressed or when I feel hungry, I will go get a banana instead of a cupcake or a croissant, something like that. It's healthy and it doesn't contain a lot of sugar.
You know how when we go to the supermarket and it's so easy for people to just grab packaged food.
So it's really important to see the label before you purchase it. For me, once I read the label and I know, wow, it contains a lot of sugar or a lot of saturated fat, I'll put it back. Or if I really want to buy it, I really want to try it, and I will share with my friends.
Yes, so that is a takeaway tip. So if anyone wants to eat some unhealthy food, maybe share it with people. So the burden is less.
Exactly.
No, I think at different age, you need different nutritions. So how do you suggest people to eat better in their age? For example, for people who are in their 20s to 30s or 40s to 50s and 60s and plus years old?
Yeah, because people in different age, their body composition is a little bit different. Their organ is different. For 20 to 30, really young age, they need good calorie and good protein and a lot of exercise. But after 20 years old, you're already being a grown up. You can't eat as much as when you were in middle school or high school, because for kids, when they are growing, they need a lot of calorie and protein. So people usually eat snack in the afternoon. But when you are grown up, that is not necessary. You can bring an apple to substitute the snack. So from 20 to 30 calorie, you have to adjust a little bit. And because your metabolism is decreasing once you reach 25 or 30 years old, especially women. Once you over 25 or 30 years old, you can notice that you gain fat really fast if you keep eating same thing and same lifestyle. You'll gain a lot of fat, and as I said earlier, obesity and fat is correlated with cancer risk. So it's not a good habit if you don't change. So it's better for you to eat a little bit more vegetable, less fat food, but you have to eat good fat. For example, nut, olive oil, avocado. You still have to eat good fat, but not much. So you have to control your whole calorie and do some more exercise to maintain your muscle. You have to maintain some muscle in your body so you can have better metabolism. And after 40 to around 60, it's pretty much the same. But after 65 years old, decades ago, people think when you are in your elderly age, you can't eat much protein. First of all, because your kidney already been used for more than 65 years. You have a lower kidney function, but it's a little bit different recently because if you don't eat enough protein, for elderly, they will lose their muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Their muscle will lose, and it's really hard for them to build their muscle back. And for example, their leg will less strength, so maybe they will easy to fall. And once you fall, it's hard for them to get up again. So enough protein is really, really important for elderly people. For
Enough,
example,
but not too much.
exactly. For example, if a 50 kilograms elderly people, in the past decades, your protein intake is suggest 50 times maybe 0.8 so it's like 40 gram only. But now is your kilogram, your body weight to time 1 to 1.2. So it's not a big difference, but you have to eat enough protein. Another thing I have to suggest for elderly people is because they have lower kidney function, have to decrease their whole grains. In our concept is whole grain food, it's really healthy. So, and you are in your elderly age, you have to keep healthy. So you have to eat more whole grains, more veggie or good protein. But for whole grain part, they have to cut their whole grain because whole grain, it contains too much nutrient. So sometimes it will give our kidney function loading. So for elderly people who have a lower kidney function, it's better for them to cut down their whole grains. But other foods, you can keep the same.
So let me summarize that. When you are in your 20s to, let's say, 30s, or 20s to
35.
4, yeah, around that, you should not eat the same style as you were when you were a kid. For example, if you eat a lot of snacks, but in general, I personally think that people shouldn't eat that much snacks anyways. Like you said, like if you want to eat snacks, you can choose whole food, like fruit or banana or avocado or nuts.
Yes.
But what you're saying is like in your 20s to 35, whatever, you need to change how you eat and how much calorie consumption that you are eating. And when you are in your 40s to 50s, what did you say?
40 to 50 people drink a lot of beer. I didn't mention this earlier, but people who drink a lot of beer or a lot of sugar drink, it contains too much sugar, and people under working stress. So for like 35 to 50, because they are under working stress, and it's really convenient to grab sugar drink. So yeah, it's better for them not to grab sugar drink. It's better to have just water.
Yeah. So drink more water and just remember that your metabolism slows down.
Yes.
And when you are over 65, yes, you do need to eat meat, but don't eat too much of it. And I feel like whatever you have said, I just want to encourage people who are listening and watching to start looking after their health. That is never too early and it's never too late. If you're someone that is young, in a younger generation, maybe in your early 20s, it's all about prevention. Okay, everyone?
Yes. Prevention.
Yes, it's your body, you need to look after it. But if you're in your 50s and 60s, I would highly encourage you to look at your diet and look at your pantry. Now, speaking of pantry, I would love to know what's in your pantry.
In my pantry, I will start from carb. There are 2 containers. One is for white rice. It's for my grandpa. My grandpa is in his 90s, so he is not suitable for whole grains. But another container, it contains whole grains. It's for me and my family because I live with my parents and my grandpa. So we need to prepare different foods for different people.
Yep, totally.
And then on oil is like fat. Fat is really important, but you have to eat good fat. So my mother, she always prepare different kind of nuts. Brazil nut, almond, walnut, cashew, or Hawaii bean. So it's at least 5 different nuts. And we don't eat much, but just a little bit per day.
Yep, palm size.
Yeah, the palm size. But sometimes I will eat 2, but no more than 2 because it contains a lot of fat and calorie. But it's good fat though.
Mm-hmm.
And for liquid oil, we prepare 2 to 3 different kinds of oil. First is olive oil. Everyone knows it's really healthy, right? Because not all the vegetable oil can cook with high temperature. Some they like to stir fry, even though I don't recommend stir fry everything or fry everything. But you have to choose the right oil to cook and the right way to cook. For extra virgin olive oil, the smoking point is very low.
Mm-hmm.
So if you use extra virgin olive oil to cook in a high temperature thing, it's bad for your health.
You say there's a third kind of oil. What's the...
Yeah, sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, and olive oil.
And what else can you find in your pantry?
My mother always prepare different kind of fish. I taught my mom that which kind of fish contains a lot of omega-3 oil. For example, salmon. So basically in our lunch and dinner, at least one meal, we will contain fish. And chicken. My father's favorite is chicken breast because it contains a lot of good protein and less fat.
That's nice.
And a lot of eggs. We will have a boiling egg every breakfast. So there are 5 people in my family. So at least we will eat 5 eggs per day.
Wow, that's amazing. So, how many egg consumption do you think people should have?
It depends on your health condition. If you have high cholesterol, then it's better just have like 3 to 4 eggs per week. But if you are in like kindergarten or in your elementary school, your kids play around and their high activities, then maybe 2 to 3. No more than 3 eggs per day.
Right.
That's my suggestion for everyone. But if you have cardiovascular disease or you have high cholesterol, then don't eat more than, I said, 4 eggs per week.
Yep, got it. And so can people find like snacks or like chips and crisps in your pantry?
No, we don't have that.
Really?
Because we don't want to gain too much weight. So we don't buy dessert or snack usually. We only eat when people come visit or we want to visit our friends' home. So we don't eat a lot of dessert at home to maintain our health and body shape.
Yes, I love it. So really, like for those who are listening and watching, if you want to start having a healthier lifestyle, really it starts from your own pantry, because if it's not there, then you wouldn't eat it, right?
Yes, and when you get hungry, because sometimes when people are starving, they will grab anything they see and they will eat it. And they forget how much calorie or how bad the food is. But once you don't buy it, and there's only healthy choice around your home, then you will get it. Like, oh, I'm so hungry, and there is a cucumber, and it's so hot, then I will chew a cucumber instead of
a cold drink.
Exactly, right? Or, oh, I'm so hungry, and I got a banana with a pound of nuts, and I'm full and I don't eat other food instead.
Yes, I agree. So
Yeah, that's really
everyone,
important.
yeah, it starts from your own pantry. So clear out your pantry, everyone.
Yes, let's do it now.
You know how we were talking about pantry, like what's in your pantry and etc. But do you think it is important to know where your food is coming from?
Oh yeah, that's really important too.
How so? Why?
Because if you don't know where it comes from, first, my worry is the safety issues because you don't know. For example, in our traditional market, a lot of vendor they will sell fruits. It's already been cut. Then sometimes when I was handing around, you can see some fruits is already being rotten, but they just cut it off and they will cut the rest of the part and sell it. You don't know where it comes from, right? Because it's already being cut and put it in a nice, needy box, and you buy it and you eat it. It's really bad for your health. For example, papaya. Sometimes it's been rotten at the maybe only this part, and maybe our grandma, some people they will just cut off this part and eat the rest of it because you don't know where it comes from and you don't know how it processed, so you'll eat it. But maybe the bacteria already come to whole papaya, but you don't know.
Yes.
So you have to know where it comes from and how it been processed. It's really important because if you eat too much this rotten food, it's really bad for your liver and it's easy to get liver carcinoma. So that's really bad. For peanut butter, peanuts, something is really easy to have toxicity in the peanuts. So because in Taiwan it's really warm and humid, so it's really easy for the peanuts to get bad, but you don't know. It tastes the same, but if you eat too much of that, then you will get liver cancer really easy.
What?
So it's really important to know where it comes from and how it being
Made?
yeah, and in the process or how they being stored. And the storage is really important too.
How about
So
farming?
I'm not sure in other countries, but in Taiwan, our government managed the pesticide, right? How do you, 杀虫剂, pesticide. Sorry, I don't know how to
Parasite?
pronounce.
Parasite?
No, the liquid to kill bugs when you are farming. Liquid when they are farming, they will spray on the maybe the rice or grain to prevent those wheat being eaten by bugs.
Yes.
Yes, in Taiwan, the highest cancer incident city is in those farmers cities. Those liquid is really bad for health and will increase the cancer incident as well. So when you know where it comes from which farm or from which area, then you can check it on the website or maybe you can go check the farm.
So for those who are listening and watching, I would highly encourage you to make connections with your local farmers because
Yes.
well, first of all, you are gonna support the locals by helping them and buying from them. Second of all, you are also looking after your health. So you know where it's grown, you know what they put in it, and you know how they look after it. And yeah, I think that's amazing. I personally think that it is important to know where your food comes from as well.
Just a little story. I know a traditional medicine doctor because he really believes in food can treat a lot of disease. So because Taiwan is an island, it's not really big. He drove his own car and go around the Taiwan to see the farmers. I think really thankful for him because he already filtered some good farmer for us. It's healthy and safe. And you can support the farmers because they may be in suburban place and they need people support.
Yes,
So
definitely.
he drove his own car and go around Taiwan and spend months to search for different farmers. And so
Yeah.
it's really good for that.
Yeah, thank you
Yes.
to that
And
person.
another thing is to eat seasonal food, because seasonal food, like you eat when you are in summer, just eat what is can grow in summer instead of, oh, you really want to eat, for example, some fruits have grown in winter. So you can tell if the fruit grown in winter, but now it's summer. The storage must be really long, and maybe that is not as fresh as before, and you can, maybe they put some chemical thing to preserve it. I'm not sure about that, but if you can eat seasonal food, then it will be healthier and safer.
Yes, definitely. For those who are listening and watching, if you want to know what seasonal food are available in your area, it honestly is super easy. Just go on Google and then you can just type in it and it will tell you. And for those who are listening that are in Australia, I would highly recommend you to go on Changing Habits. Yeah, I will leave this link in the description. You can go and check it out. It is so important. Now, you know how before you say when we eat, it will change our emotions and how we
Oh yeah.
function. So, as a dietitian, how do you think people can help themselves with that part?
People who being in really low mood, they tend to eat sugary stuff, because once you eat sugary stuff, your brain will secrete serotonin and you will feel happy.
Temporary
But
though.
yes, once you eat your sugary food, your blood sugar will like this. Okay, it's and then you feel really happy and euphoria at this point, but maybe it's really quick. It will come down. And you will feel really depressed again. And you will eat sugary stuff and your blood sugar will come up again. And this yo-yo thing will make you mood not really stable, and it maybe will even worse, because
Mm,
maybe your mood is just like here, but you eat sugar stuff, you feel happy and euphoria, but once you are because it's sugar, so your blood sugar will go up and down really quick and you'll come down, and your mood will be worse than before.
mm-hmm.
So you really want to eat some sugary stuff, I suggest you can grab fruit, because fruit is sweet.
Yes.
And it can make you happy as well, and your sugar won't be like this, but maybe like this. Can you
Yes.
see the difference? Yeah.
So, for those who are listening and not watching, basically she drew a diagram where if you eat something sweet like milk chocolate or maybe have a bubble tea or whatever, your sugar level is gonna spike up, and then it will also go down very low, even past the sad state, and then you will want to eat even more sugar. But if you eat maybe fruit, something like a banana, it will just have a normal curve, and you will feel better, and it's also better for your health. Is that?
Yes. And for if you are craving for chocolate, then go for it, but you have to choose 85% plus chocolate instead of like milk chocolate or hazelnut chocolate. You have to eat whole foods.
Yes, I agree.
For my own experience, if I am in really low mood, then I will go for a run. Just go for running, and you are sweat. And because a lot of research said, while doing exercise, your brain will secrete dopamine, and you will make you happy too. So not
Yeah.
only from food, you can do some exercise to make you happier.
Yes. So what she said is the dopamine chemical.
So when you
Yes.
do exercise, any exercise, to be honest, like if you don't like running, that's okay. I can share a trick with you, which is just play music, your favorite music, and dance in your room. That is
Oh,
also a form of exercise. And yeah, you will release dopamine in your brain. Well, I feel like we can talk for ages because I think that, there is never enough time to talk about health. But
mm,
instead of us continuing on talking about it, I would like to know if you feel like there is something that I didn't ask or you would like to talk about.
I think you asked almost everything and people who would love to know. But for healthy eating and healthy lifestyle, it will never end because we can talk more and more. And maybe I can ask my mom to join our conversation next time because she is really a strict like lifestyle modification person in our home.
Yes. I love it. I
Yes.
love that. I just think that I know it might be hard and annoying. That is why, you know what? I know it can be hard for you to take the first step to be like, okay, I want to eat healthier. But then we also talked about if you can't help yourself and want to eat the unhealthy stuff, we'll share it with more people. Don't just eat it by yourself. So you can
Yes,
have
and
less.
baby step works. Baby
Exactly.
step works. You just change one thing in your life, then things will come and a better thing will come. Just
Yes.
one thing.
Yes, I
Yes.
agree. So I feel like the first thing that people can do is clean out your pantry. So yeah, that's how I feel. Well, before I say goodbye to you, I would love to know in general, how do you think we can help each other out with help people out in general?
Let me share a guideline for healthy lifestyle. If that
Okay,
works.
sure.
It's from American Cancer Society. They post a healthy lifestyle guideline for people who want to prevent getting cancer.
Mhm.
And for that guidelines, I just follow the guidelines because it's not really hard. It's easy. Let me share with you guys. First is whole grains. As I say earlier, for 3 meals per day, at least 1 to 2 meals, your carbohydrate is eating from whole grains. And the second is 3 serving of vegetable and 2 serving of fruits per day.
Yes.
And the third thing is eat oilless fish. For example, salmon. And if you are a vegetarian, then eat nuts to
Mhm.
substitute oily fish every day. Just a serving of oily fish. It's not a lot, but it contains good oil. And then no smoking, no betel nuts. That's really important. And then no processed red meat.
Yeah.
No processed meat. And then if you drink alcohol, for a female, just 1 serving per day. For wine is 150 cc per day. And if you are a guy, you can up to 2 serving of liquid. If you drink red wine, then it's 2 glasses of red wine. And last but not least is do exercise. 150 minutes per week.
150 minutes per week. That is honestly not a lot. So
Yeah, it's not a lot. So it's not really hard to follow the guideline, but you have to take out your first step.
yes, totally. And by the sounds of it, it has to have a healthy lifestyle. It relates to what you eat. Because the guideline
Mm,
that you did, it's all about food. And then the last step is
mhm.
exercise.
Exercise.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but it all depends on what kind of lifestyle that you want or what kind of body that you want to have. Because if you want to have like a bodybuilder body, obviously you need to eat differently. But however, I still think that it is super important to look after your what you eat, what you consume, and where the food comes from. And yeah, well, Thank you so much for sharing your story and teaching people how to eat better. And hopefully, more people will listen to this and start eating healthier.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, and it's my pleasure to share my story with all you guys. Thank you very
So
much.
tell me, how is your diet like? What is your health condition? Do you eat enough vegetables? Or do you eat enough fruit? Are you eating too much of certain things? What's in your pantry? Share them with me. I can tell you that you won't find processed stuff in my pantry. I don't have chips, I don't have packaged stuff. I honestly love cooking. And I love knowing what goes inside my food. It all really starts in your own home. Like Jennifer said, every little step counts. Start with small. So limit maybe one unhealthy item in your pantry and then it will all add up. I honestly would highly encourage you to connect deeper with your local farmers. Not only you will know how your food is grown, you will also be supporting a local family and you will be making new friends with the local farmers. How amazing is that? Jennifer will come on again and talk more about health and diet, so watch this space. Now don't forget to subscribe, click the thumbs up button if you have loved it, share it with someone because you never know what they're going through. And remember, you're amazing and you're not alone. Now please click somewhere on the screen to listen to other people's stories. And I will see you in the next video.